Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm going to share with you a teaching from the Maxims of Master Shan. And this one in particular follows the previous one directly. So the previous one, which I gave a talk about previously, was about those who claim their enlightenment and those who try to shun earthly enjoyments. That's who the previous one was about. And it said those people are in the dark. Okay? And this one starts with the word neither because it's related to that previous one. So please go back, listen to the previous one, watch the previous one. Just please do that. So this verse starts with, neither are they correct who dedicate themselves to exposing the fraud of every sensory object they encounter. True, perceptions of material objects give rise to wild desire in the heart. True, once it is understood how essentially worthless such apparent objects are, wild desires are reduced to timid thoughts. But we may not limit our spiritual practice to the discipline of dispelling illusion. There is more to the Dharma than understanding the nature of reality. So, that's kind of heavy. I thought about, how am I going to talk about this? I thought about that a lot. And what this is saying, this is the argument against nihilism. This is the argument that says, people say Buddhism is negative sometimes. People who know only a little sometimes say Buddhism is very negative. And this is sort of a response to that. It's saying, man, we're not trying to prove that the world is full of suffering. We're not trying to prove that joys are fleeting and this and this and this aren't going to bring happiness and these things aren't important. We're not in the business of proving anything. So get that out of your mind because that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to learn to live in a more awakened way, and that's it. So if we learn these teachings and we start to try to prove that everything is empty or prove that most joy is fleeting, well, we're on the wrong track because that's not going to do anything good for us or anyone else. It's sort of an argument against philosophy, an argument against just arguing and debating and figuring out this is a plan of action. This is about learning to live a more awakened way. This is not about learning how to talk about living a more awakened way. It's about learning to live in a more awakened way. So, and it's not about giving away all your possessions. It's not about running away from material objects. It's just about not letting things own you. Owning things and not letting things own you. Because greed does give rise to wild desire in the heart at times. And at times we want something so much, we'll step on other people, we'll do things we know are wrong, we'll do things we would normally never do because we just have these wild desires that are overtaking us. And so that's true. We need to hold on to things loosely and not cling to things so desperately all the time. And it's it's true that the path can help us, the path of Buddhism can help us stop clinging so desperately so that our wild desires are less wild and they're just more thoughts, oh, I would like that car, instead of, oh, I have to have that car, okay? An example I like to give sometimes is this. My daughter, this one time, when I picked her up from school, she said, can we go roller skating? And can we go roller skating today? There's a skating party today. And I'm sort of a planner. I'm not really a planner, but I don't like sudden things like that. I don't like sudden events. I want to know ahead of time what's happening. We've planned dinner. I have a plan, generally. So I don't want to suddenly drop everything and go roller skating. I want to go roller skating because I planned to go roller skating. There, I got there. And so I told her no. And it ruined her night. She was so mad at me. It was like I did the worst thing ever to her because that's the way we cling sometimes to our desires. We cling to our desires in a way that we think, why can't I have the thing that I want, right? Why not me? I deserve this. The world owes this to me. We think that way sometimes. We may not say it out loud, but in the back of our minds sometimes we have that, I deserve this, and I am bitter if I don't get it. And I'm picking on my daughter a little bit, I guess. But how fun would it have been roller skating? I mean, not worth the amount of heartbreak she had over it, and we're like that. That's to say, I'm like that too, and you're like that too. We all have situations where we've really desired something, and we've not gotten it, and we've been devastated, and we act like the world's out to get us, when obviously the world's not out to get you. It's just the way things are. But the truth is, a lot of these things are fleeting, and we don't even really enjoy them that much anyway. We make a lot out of it in our minds, in our imagination. We make a lot out of it. So, anyway, we don't want to limit our spiritual practice to just determining that things are fleeting. Just looking for ways to understand why the pleasures of the world aren't really that great. We don't want to become that person. That is a hard life, I think. And there is more to the Dharma than understanding the nature of reality, because we're not just trying to understand things. We are not. That is not enough. That is a very small part of what we're doing, because what we're doing is trying to live in a different way. This is a path of action. This is something we're trying to embody. This is not something we're trying to think about or something we're trying to understand or grasp. It's something we're trying to do, living in a more awakened way. There is more to the Dharma than understanding the nature of reality. We're not just trying to understand our suffering. We're trying to learn to manage our suffering and learn to live more mindfully and in a more awake way. And that is what this is all about. This is a way of life. So, that's it for today. That was number 3 from the Maxims of Master Shan. And I think I'm going to do all of these. We'll see how it goes. So, thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and have a good day.